Let me tell you about buying a house in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. I've been in the business for 45 years, and let me tell you, I've seen it all. I've seen people with perfect credit not being able to buy the house because they waited too long. And then I've seen people with not so great a credit have a plan and end up getting the house of their dreams. There's so many different reasons why people want to buy in Ocean Springs. Some want the good school system. Someone might want the laid-back lifestyle. Most people love the downtown walkable area where they can even drive their golf carts downtown. Lots of different reasons, but here's what most people don't know. Buying a home is not about finding a house. Buying a home is about winning the process. Today, I'm going to walk you through the whole process, step by step, and we're going to take the SMART approach and the way that keeps you out of making bad mistakes and losing countless amounts of money. And also, we're going to talk about some true stories that I've been through so you can avoid those type of problems. Step 1, know why you want to buy in Ocean Springs, Mississippi. The first thing I always ask a buyer is, why Ocean Springs? Is it the schools? Is it the laid-back lifestyle? Is it the wonderful neighborhoods? Is it the Gulf Coast lifestyle? Just what is it? Because Ocean Springs has very different types of neighborhoods. You have downtown historic homes, waterfront homes, family subdivisions, new construction areas, established quiet neighborhoods, and where you belong depends on your particular lifestyle. Here's a story example. I once had a customer from out of town who absolutely the only thing they wanted was a large subdivision. Then I showed them downtown Ocean Springs. Oh, that did it. They saw people walking around to coffee shops, easily walking to boutique shops, noticed the small boutique hotels, saw people driving downtown in their golf carts. Well, they moved from that big subdivision to a nice little 1,500 square foot cottage downtown where they could store their golf cart and drive down to the city or the town, the quiet town, anytime they wanted. And they loved it. So you've got to get that idea as to why you want to live here and where you want to live, depending on your lifestyle. Step 2, get your financing first. This is where most buyers make the mistake. What is important is to get your financing first for a lot of different reasons. You need to talk to a lender. That's the first thing. Don't go backwards and just jump in. Get your numbers. What you need to know is, what payment are you comfortable with? What price do you qualify for? How much cash do you need up front in order to buy? What does the interest rate look like? And what is your credit score? Because the house you love doesn't necessarily equate to how much you make per year. If you're liking this kind of information, why not subscribe and touch that notification bell so you can get more information periodically about the buying process. Now, here are 3 things that lenders are always looking for. In simple terms, lenders like to know 3 things. Number 1, income. Number 2, debt. Number 3, credit score. Income. They want to be sure that you've been on the job for 2 years in the same profession. They don't like unsteady employment where a particular buyer will jump from job to job. They want stability. Credit. 620 to 40 credit score will limit you as to what you can buy and what type of product, what type of mortgage you can have. Whereas if you have a 740 or above credit score, you qualify for just about any kind of mortgage, and your interest rate is much lower with that top tier credit score. And lenders want to know about debt. How many car loans do you have? Do you have a student loan that needs to be paid? Are you paying child support or alimony? Do you have personal loans that you have to pay X amount per month? And of course, credit cards. Most buyers don't realize it's not necessarily what you make. It's about how much debt you have in relation to what you make. Here's a good story from experience. I once had a buyer who had an annual income of $90,000 a year. And at about the same time, I had a buyer who made $60,000 a year. The $90,000 a year customer did not get approved. However, the $60,000 a year income person did get the mortgage they wanted and got approved. And what is the difference there? The buyer that was $90,000 a year, they had 2 car loans, a boat loan, and about $500 a month in credit card debt. Now the $60,000 a year buyer had a plan. They worked to get their numbers correct. They had no credit card loans or credit cards that they had debt on. They didn't have a student loan, and they only had 1 car loan. So what happened? The one who had the plan and the $60,000 a year income was approved, and the $90,000 was not. So it all depends on what you owe, not just necessarily what your yearly income is. Step number 3, get pre-approved, not pre-qualified. There's a huge difference between the two. What is pre-qualification? That's basically just rough estimates of what you can do, what type of house you can buy. Pre-approved is qualified numbers, because without it, you're just shopping around. With pre-approval, you know your numbers and what you can be approved for. Hire a local expert, not Zillow. Let me tell you something honest. Zillow doesn't know Ocean Springs. Google doesn't know Ocean Springs. Algorithms don't know Ocean Springs. Experience does know Ocean Springs. What matters here is local knowledge of the area. Which subdivisions appreciate fastest? Which areas have flood insurance requirements? Which neighborhoods have HOA dues? Which streets have traffic problems? Which builders are the best qualified to build? Which homes are overpriced? And which homes can you get a steal on? All right, here's a hard knocks lesson. I learned this early in my career. A buyer wanted a beautiful, beautiful home on the water, and we took a look at it, but we were too late. It got sold out from under the buyer. But it was to the buyer's advantage, because what happened was this particular house on the water had steep flood insurance requirements, which would have added thousands of dollars to their yearly payment structure and certainly to their monthly notes. What we did though, we found a house that was only a couple of streets away. They got the same type of lifestyle they wanted near the water, and they were not in a flood zone with all that extra expense. So it does pay to know someone who knows the area and can help you get peace of mind in getting the property that you want at the price you want. Step 5, start the home search smart. Now here's where the fun begins. Smart buyers don't look just at houses. They evaluate the location, the condition, the resale value, the insurance cost, the age of the roof, vitally important nowadays, especially for insurance purposes. How old is the heating and air conditioning unit? The foundation, is it solid? Neighborhood trends, is it going up? Is the neighborhood going up in value, or is it stagnant? Now, I'm sure you know people who want this type of information. You got your friends that are in the same boat as you, so why not share this video with them? Might help them too. The rule is, I teach each buyer, never fall in love with a house. Fall in love with a good decision. Step 6, making the offer. This is where strategy matters. Price is one of the factors, not the major factor necessarily. Terms are what wins deals. Important terms include the closing date. Is it flexible? The inspection period. How quickly can the house get inspected? Earnest money. Large earnest money compared to a small amount of earnest money. The type of financing that you have. Is it cash? Is it a quick close? Or is it a financed situation where it might take 30 to 45 days? Seller concessions. Is the seller willing to help with closing costs? Any repair request? Sometimes I win for buyers without offering the highest price because we structure the terms better. Now here's a real story I've got for you. I had a buyer that spent a year looking for a home and they lost 3 different homes. Each one they offered full price, but the problem was they were late on each one and there were multiple buyers for each property. But here's what happened. We changed the strategy. The next time, rather than putting a $500 or $1,000 amount of earnest money, we showed how strongly we were earnest about buying the house and put down $10,000 in earnest money. We had a very flexible closing date because it didn't matter that we were going to buy the house and had to immediately move in, because there were a couple of things that we wanted to upgrade in the house, that the buyers wanted to upgrade. So they left that kind of open. And possibly they would even close now and allow the owner to rent back for a couple of weeks to fit their needs. We had a very short inspection window so they could go ahead and have their inspection done, see if there were repairs that needed to be made, and get that out of the way quickly so they wouldn't have the house tied up and off of the market for a long time. What happened to this next house? Well, they won because they had a strategy that was a little bit different than everyone else's, rather than just strictly price. Much better structure. Step 7, the inspection process. This is where you can find the truth about what's underneath that roof. Inspections usually cover, of course, the roof. The age of the roof. Is it deteriorating? The heating and air conditioning system. How old is it? Is it working properly? How about the electrical system? Is it safe? Is the plumbing in good order and not leaking? Is the structure sound? Are the appliances all working properly? Are there any moisture issues? Do you see any mildew anywhere? In other words, we're looking at the major things that could be wrong with a property, not cosmetics, not changing a paint color or adding draperies or blinds. That's strictly cosmetic. We're talking about the major things that that could be a problem with the house once you own it. My advice, after decades of experience, is certainly to get an inspection on the property, even if it's a new house. But I will tell you that every house has a few problems. That's just the nature of the beast. And I will tell you that your inspector is going to find those little things that probably the seller didn't even know existed. But the question is, are they small problems? Are they major problems? Step 8, the negotiating process. Now this is where having a seasoned negotiator is very effective. Options include the seller repair options. Will they pay for the repairs? Will the seller pay for the repairs? Will the seller give a closing cost concession instead of doing the repairs and let the buyer do those repairs themselves? Is there a price reduction that they could negotiate to cover the repairs if the buyer particularly wanted to have their own people fix the repairs? Or it's any a combination of both or any of these. My goal is always simple: to protect my buyer, to get these items repaired to the best of the ability, and to keep the deal alive so that we get to the closing table and everybody has a big smile on their face. The closing process. The once inspection is done, it's pretty mechanical, step by step to get to the closing. Have your appraisal ordered. You have a closing attorney that has been specified who will check the titles to be sure there are no liens, or only the lien that's on the property would be the mortgage and maybe a second mortgage, and be sure that is all cleaned up so you'll have a good, clear title on the property. You get your loan financed, you do your final walkthrough, you check out the closing paperwork to be sure that everything is in order there, and then you set your closing date. Now here's a good closing date story that I've had several different times. One in particular happened earlier in my career where I had a first-time homeowner that was so excited, so nervous getting to the closing table. They barely had enough money to close, but they did. We got to the closing table, and after everything was said and done and they got the keys in their hands, they both looked at each other and started crying. They weren't crying because of the house. They were crying because they were finally homeowners. And what was so crazy, those sellers were a military couple that had been here for 4 years, and they were also crying. They had tears in their eyes because they did not want to leave Ocean Springs. And that has happened many times, especially with my military folks that are getting transferred. They think they're coming to the bastion of the United States that could not be the worst place in the world to move. And they are so pleasantly surprised and love living here, they absolutely did not want to leave. That kind of stuff never gets old. Step 10. The best advice I give home buyers. If you remember nothing else from this video, please remember this one thing. Preparation beats luck. The buyers that win in Ocean Springs are the ones who are pre-approved. They've got their numbers before they start looking. They understand that. They move quickly. They work with experienced real estate professionals. They stay realistic and they trust the process that they're in. So my honest advice after 45 years in the business is the biggest mistake that buyers make is waiting for the perfect time. Waiting for the perfect interest rate. Waiting for the perfect house price. Waiting for the perfect market. The time never comes, but prepared buyers always come up on top and get what they want. So if you're thinking about buying a house in Ocean Springs, ready now, fine. Ready in 6 months, 12 months, that's fine. I'll help you get prepared for the process. Just give me a call. Or better yet, you might want to arrange a Zoom call with that information below, and you and we can talk face to face. You can tell me what you want, and I can help you with the process, and we can start looking for exactly what you want, the exact amenities that you want. Let Chester Harvey help you with that process. As a seasoned real estate broker, I can tell you this. Buying a home is not just a transaction. It's a life milestone. And if done right, it could be one of the best decisions you've ever made in your life.